it's pretty big. I mean, it's not huge, but it's a farmhouse, and you're trying to board up the windows.
They pay a decent rent.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike and he's Jay. This is Stan. Stan, you're drunk. You've had enough to drink. I'm sick of this shit. You come to my house, you drink my fucking beer, and you don't pay for anything. I'm tired of it. Look at me.
You got shitty beer because look, he's skeletal.
Look at me. That's good beer.
He's skeletal.
It is $9.
He's dying.
I'm Mike, he's Jay, and we're here to review Night of the Living Dead. Not the old-ass version, but the remake version. Yeah, we didn't do the old-ass version. The old-ass version, yeah, it's better. I mean, it's the original. It set the story, it set the rules, it set all that shit. Yeah, we know that. We know that.
Don't get crazy.
But the whole thing is that later on we're going to do a classic horror movie review.
Yeah,
we want to save it for that. So we're going to do the Tom Savini directed 1990 version because the 90s are the shit.
I love the 90s. The 90s were great. I mean, you had...
Are you VH1? Pop-up video?
I
love the 90s.
1990, Tom Savini directed this movie. It was cool. I mean, it was badass because Tom Savini had been known for doing these special effects makeup artists. That's why you love him.
I don't like your fucking attitude, Stan.
He's pissed off about things. But Tom Savini had actually signed on for this movie. I read this recently. He signed on for this movie in hopes that he could do the makeup for it because he missed out on the 1968 classic Night of the Living Dead by Romero. And they actually told him, we want you to direct it. And he was like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. A young girl is going with her brother to visit her grandmother in the cemetery. And the entire time, her brother's being a dick. He's like, they're coming to get you, Barbara.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I would have smacked that fucker in the face. But anyway, so they go there, and all of a sudden, they're attacked by zombies. The brother is supposedly killed, or he is killed. They run. She runs. She gets out of harm's way. She runs to a farmhouse, and from there, she meets some other survivors, and they have to survive the night against zombie horde attacking the farmhouse.
That beginning scene, though, when it opens up, that old guy's like coming across the thing. He's like, it was like, but he acted like a fucking zombie. I mean, he acted dead on a zombie. Even when he was walking away, he was like.
That's funny that you mentioned that because I thought he was drunk too. He's like, you're just a drunk fucker. But the fact is, like, somebody said that they think he was just drunk, or not drunk, shock. Like, if you look on the side of his head, he had blood. So apparently, he had been attacked by a zombie. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Either way, it was fucking funny.
But you don't think he should have warned you? Like, there's a fucking people coming back from life. But anyway, so they're trapped in this farmhouse against the hordes of the undead in the night, which is actually really scary because...
In the night.
In the dark. In the dark. But it was actually really scary because most of them movies take place in the day. Yeah. You never really see them at night, and that's actually fucking freaky in itself. And we mentioned the Dawn of the Dead, this claustrophobic feel. This movie really did have a claustrophobic feel. You're just trapped in this one little house. It's pretty big. I mean, it's not huge, but it's a farmhouse, and you're trying to board up the windows.
They pay a decent rent.
Yeah.
God damn it, Stan!
Drink it. Don't look at it.
I'm tired. You've had enough.
But they're trapped in this farmhouse, and these zombies are coming, and this movie really makes you think like, what would I do? I found myself after I watched this movie like, I have this many windows, I'm on this floor. How am I going to board all this shit up?
It's a perfect like Call of Duty shit. Like, you board up the windows. What are you going to do? How are you going to get out? It set the standard. I mean, granted, the whole thing's a remake of the original movie, so it's not an original idea whatsoever.
No.
We're taking the original idea and we're talking about that as well because we want to. But what I'm saying is that like that whole thing, it's so. I love this one so much because it's so central. It's that one area. You're backed into a corner. What the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah, and also they really focus on character interaction. I mean, how these people, and that's always a big key thing for me for like zombie movies, like post-apocalyptic or whatever. Like how people are gonna react to one another. I mean, you never met these people before in your life, and are you gonna work together and be dickheads to each other and just like it's me or nobody?
Yeah.
And this movie showcases that a lot because Tony Todd is the lead guy in this as Ben, and he's great in this. I love seeing him as the main hero. Because a lot of these movies, he's always the villain. He's Candyman, he's in Final Destination, but he was really good. Now, the girl, and it was the main girl, she was good too. I mean, Barbara, they really made her like a strong... the only thing I didn't like about it, she was a strong, hot girl. I mean, she was hot. I don't care. I mean,
she had Neve Campbell-like qualities, which is weird when you go back and watch it.
But the way
Neve Campbell kind of reminds me of how she acted.
Well, the way she goes from like, zero, I'm scared, and then like, I'm going to fuck shit up. Yeah. It was just so quick, and it just didn't, it was underdeveloped, I think.
She doesn't really get the Scream Queen credit.
Looney Tunes.
She doesn't really get the Scream Queen credit.
Tell me some more.
She probably should.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. She doesn't, but it just felt like underdeveloped. Like how do
you get credit? Foods that start with the letter Q.
Go back to my big. Yeah, I know. So yeah, that's what. Yeah, she did. It felt like underdeveloped. I mean, I know they have a budget constraint. This movie clocks in 1 hour 22 minutes. It's not a long movie, so they I guess have a lot of time to explore her finally coming to grips with what's going on. Because at first she just seems like so dainty and like I don't want to touch that, and then obviously she shoot motherfuckers in the head. I'm like, I'm down for it. I want to have sex with you. I want you to hold that gun while we're doing it. but I get I get Tom Savini have a lot of time to explore it.
Yeah.
You know, explore them movies. But I get it, and so I appreciate that. But there are some moments that this movie suffers from bad acting, like overacting.
I mean, if they explored the boobies, then obviously she's not a virgin. Obviously she has to die.
She's not a virgin. She was Ellen Ripley in like 10
I don't
seconds.
see her being a virgin either, but you know they can't say it because then she has to die.
Yeah, but I mean, she was Ellen Ripley in like 10 seconds. She knew how to handle that fucking long schlong of a gun. But you know, all right, and then also you got Cooper, the guy in the basement that they meet, and then the two redneck people.
I would have much rather had somebody else play Cooper. The guy was fine.
Was all right.
He was all right or whatever, but he was kind of Larry, Curly, and Moe. Like he could have played any of those.
Probably could have been Shemp.
He could have been anybody. Like, he was just kind of like dainty and like just stupid and like, oh, I'm an asshole, but I'm also an idiot.
It's
like,
pretty much the archetype of every kind of guy that you'll meet in a horror movie. That's like the asshole. Like always got to be like different from.
But if that
else.
movie was played today, you'd want it played by somebody who was a better actor and who could play that evil part better.
Imagine if Cooper in Night of the Living Dead 1990 remake was played by Liv Schreiber. Yeah. Blow your fucking mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine it because he's
No, he's an asshole, but Liv Schreiber's such a great actor. I would
What
actually
play
put
by
really
Joe
good.
Pesci?
He's too much of an Italian.
Why don't you get in the fucking basement?
I would never be able to believe that scene, like, because you know he's got like a Tommy gun somewhere in the wall. If you just cut down fuckers. So, I mean, overall, the acting was kind of like overacted in some scenes. I mean, it was obvious they were trying.
Even the best part about the movie, the best acted part about the movie, in my opinion, Tony Todd. He's badass.
Oh god, yeah, he was
He's
awesome.
walking around with a suit and a cigarette hanging out, and it's like, but when he get mad, it was really over the top. He's like,
God damn you! God damn all of you!
I swear to God, you open the fucking door! Like,
Yeah.
that didn't even sound like it. But the point I'm trying to make is that he was just so over the top angry, and it was awesome. But yeah, everybody overacted. What about the part with Barbara? What about the part with her, though, when she was, she and that zombie that poked her at that moment looked badass.
Yeah.
It was all thin and like, ooh.
Yeah.
But when she shot it, she was like, is it that? So over the top.
I've been so pissed off if I've been in that house, like, bitch, no, but you're wasting ammunition. Shoot it in the fucking head. I mean, you just shot like 5 bullets. I kind of get Cooper a little bit. A little bit. He's protected. I hate him. I think he's an asshole, and he's wearing a tux, which is, where were you going? I mean, were you coming from Michael Keaton's fucking birthday party from Batman? I get that. But he also looked like, he's doing everything he can to protect his wife and daughter. And his daughter's hurt, and she's sick, and he doesn't know these people, and they're doing all this crazy shit. They're wanting to board up the windows, and they're wanting to move everybody from downstairs.
But he has so many opportunities to not be such a cocksucker.
Oh, he does. He is a cocksucker,
like,
but I understand. I get his motivation at certain points. Yeah. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about it. He slaps her in the worst movie slap of all time. Another thing, but speaking of sound effects, I thought the guns sounded weak in this. When they would shoot, it'd be like, pew, pew. So we play with electronic guns. Pew, pew. Electronic guns. Walmart's fun with cap guns. I was like, are you serious? But anyway, I get Cooper's motivation at some points. But other points, he is a complete cocksucker, and he's being, for no reason, being difficult.
Yeah. Tony Todd, he was also to blame. I mean, he was to blame.
Yeah, he
like, he would get so like immediately like I granted Cooper antagonized him by not answering the fucking door when they needed wood. He counted to 3.
I need wood.
Yeah, but immediately, still yet, even if he didn't, as soon as Tony Todd arrived, his character arrived. He was like. He didn't even know that they were like rejecting it. Like Cooper was downstairs, he was still thinking about it, and Tony Todd was like, "Open this goddamn fucking door!"
Yeah, and I was like, "I'm over." He's like, and then he was like, "I'll do it." And
Yeah,
he's like, "I'm gonna break this fucker down." You know, I almost thought that Tom Savini and Romero, like, it almost looked like Cooper was racist.
He was meant to.
Did you not? Did you not feel like?
Well, he was immediately suspicious.
I know. It looked like like he didn't want to take answers from a black guy. Like it was just like or have a deal laid out.
Fuck made you the goddamn captain.
Yeah. Like, you're a bunch of lame brains. You're idiots. Like, that's all he did in the whole entire movie. And I even though I said I relate to where as far as he wanted to take care for his daughter, he was obviously a racist. At least I felt like that he was being racist in the movie. Or not, he didn't say the N word or anything like that, but it just felt like.
Yeah, I think it was meant to.
Stupid parts of the movie, like the characters that made dumb fucking moves that nobody in their right mind, if it was realistic, wouldn't do that. The guys when they go to the gas pump, the fucking guy shoots off a lock at a gas pump. Why in the fuck would you shoot a lock that's on a gas pump with a rifle? At no point in your mind,
This
you got,
makes me think of John Travolta in Broken Arrow. It's like, could you please not shoot your fucking automatic rifles at the nuclear weapons?
yes, please. But I guess maybe because they were, they were being surrounded, and he was nervous, and he was like, I can't, But I think I would be like, let's just get in the truck and see how far we go. Fuck them, let's just go.
Yeah.
And we'll come back for help. He shot a fucking lock off at a gas pump.
Well, not just that, but you've got like they're in this house and they're technically safe.
Yeah.
Right. But
I agree with Barbara though. They could have run around those fuckers in circles and gone square.
I agree with that too, and not just that, but the fact that they're inside and there's these zombies and they show it. They're just outside of range. The zombies are just around the fields or whatever, and they're like, here's a bright idea. Let's make really loud noises with hammers and just board everything shut. Which it's a smart thing to board everything shut, but the whole movie was just like fucking hammering the fucking boards into walls. It's like, the zombies are going to hear that and come to you.
Well, not just that, though. They're also screaming and fighting.
Yeah.
And, just being retardedly stupid. Be mad in your whisper voice. Just be quiet. I think it holds up pretty well. I think it actually is a good tribute to the original.
Well, Barbara was great. I love her.
She's
character.
great.
She could make really stupid faces and sounds sometimes, but I still loved her. And I kind of wanted to, I would have slowly taken her clothes off. But the point is that you'd be like,
I would do it.
Let's fight each other.
Let's get some butter.
Yeah. But at the same time, her character was really great. She was a lot stronger than she was in the original film. I liked her character a lot. I love Tony Todd's character. He was a badass. And I love that stuff about it, but the number one thing I love more than anything about this movie is that the fact that they're in this one house in the middle of the country, in a country house. You've got certain things to work with, and you're going to work with them. Dawn of the Dead, you've got the mall, you've got the worldwide thing happening. This is in one specific place. It's just started. No one knows what's happening. They've got to piece it together at the same time, and yet you're stuck in the middle of nowhere in this little country cottage. And that makes it so scary to me. You're so alone, and that makes the whole movie scary.
Yeah, there's a definite sense of isolationism. You're completely cut off from the rest of the world. The phones don't work. You're getting sketchy information from the TV. Some disaster's happening. You got people coming in that's telling you I've been to this town. It's a chaos. It's massacre.
Yeah, but
nobody can give you a straight answer. The dead are returning to life, and you're like, oh. But then they're like, oh well, the scientists though they think that's preposterous. They think that's bully cock.
And all you have to go off of is these creepy news reports that are coming from the TV upstairs.
So
it just adds this creepy, you're alone in the wilderness. Things start to fall apart with this movie. I think towards the end, they're just kind of they a little bit kind of fumble towards the end of the movie. I mean, you got the rednecks that rescue them, and you got all this stuff going on, and they try to just jump into this whole new movie all of a sudden. It feels strange.
But even Romero, even with this remake, Romero in the original one obviously had allegorical sense, with racism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in this one, when Barbara at the end of the movie says, "We're us and they're them," they're us and we're them.
That's new. That wasn't in the original movie.
And it really is true because these zombies are doing it off of primal instinct, urge to eat, and they're just doing it as a horde, like a mass, zombie. How they move and talk, or not talk, but how they move. They have this one desire to eat you. That's it.
Much like Stan Lee
and these
X-Men.
Yeah. And
these zombies.
And these rednecks think it's a game. It's cruel and it's weird, and they don't have any respect for the dead. They're shooting them. I get that you got to kill them.
You get the sense of we're just as bad as they are.
It's just a joke to them. They're like, they're drinking beer and barbecue, and I'm not saying I wouldn't be doing that. I was like, let's have some barbecue and drink some beer.
Fuck it. The world's ending.
I mean, I guess that's how they deal with it. I guess I don't know. I mean, if I went to a field party and they were killing zombies, and they're like, here's some beer and here's some chicken wings. Cool beans, where's my gun? Yeah, it was a remake, but it was a worthy remake. It was a worthy successor. And for Tom Savini, who signed on this, like I mentioned, signed on for a makeup artist because he missed out on the 68 version, and they said, you're going to be director. And he's like, fuck yeah. And he did a great job. And let's talk about really quick makeup effects.
Great.
He did a great job.
Not just that, but the zombies themselves, the very first zombie that comes up, more so than even movies that came after it, the zombies were harder to get off. The zombies weren't just you remember Dawn of the Dead, Ken Faree's high kicking people. And he's I'll just chop, and get through it. These zombies, the very first one that attacks her, he's not going away easily. He's rough. He's pulling on him and shit like that. They have a hard time getting him off, and I like what they did with the zombies.
They all looked good. I mean, every single zombie had a different makeup touch to him that made him look unique and different from every other zombie. So I think Tom Savini did a great job with the makeup effects, and I think overall, he was able to present a good flowing movie that. didn't stray a lot from the original, but added its own little flair and its own little craziness to it that is unique to Tom Savini.
Ahead of its time, even, because you'll see zombies in this movie that you'll see in Walking Dead. They're the same kind of makeup effects. But then again, there was also that cheesy, like, you could tell when it was a dummy body.
Yeah.
Like, when the brother gets slammed into the concrete slab, like, it's instantly, immediately, you can tell it's a dummy. And also, when the fat zombie comes through and she's hitting it with the crowbar, and it's making that plastic thud sound, like, come on, like, overdub that. But for the most part, yeah, it was great.
Well, not just that, though. Also, the scene when the zombies are, like, out in the forest and they're hanging out after they're eating the barbecue people that get burned up in the gas station, the hand that the guy's is obviously fucking plastic.
Yeah.
He's like, oh.
Of course, you got that. How the fuck did Tony Todd get bit in the basement?
That's the biggest plot hole to this day. It's a mystery. It's like unsolved mysteries. And I guess that people, you know, I've heard theories about it, but it really didn't explain it. I mean, because he was down there, he killed the woman that was bit by our daughter. So he was by himself. He had the door shut, obviously, because they pried it open when the rednecks came to rescue everybody. And then he comes up and he's a zombie. Was it airborne? Was it because he'd been shot and then his open wounds had caused the virus to get into his system? They never really explained. So that kind of left me like, okay. Because in the original one, he wasn't zombified. He was just trying to come out and they shot him.
Yeah.
This one, he was full-on fucking zombie.
And then, of course, she just shoots Cooper in the head.
Because she hated him. Because, well, I think at that moment, Barbara thought, you know, if somebody like Tony Todd couldn't get out, if Ben, who was honorable and he tried to do the right thing and he sacrificed himself for everybody else to get away or do what he had to do, he didn't survive. So this asshole Cooper.
She was basically like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I give this an 8.0.
And I understand that people are going to be like, well, this movie is nowhere near as good as it really. It's not. I get that. It's just a reimagining, but still, it's still a solid fucking entry into any. And I would put this as any Romero. Romero was proud of this movie. I'd put this in the Romero like trilogy or the quadrilogy of Romero. So yeah, 7.5 is a solid score for me.
What did you guys think about the original compared to this movie? What did you guys think about Tom Savini's version of it? Did you like the transformation of Barbara? What did you think happened to Tony Todd in the basement? There's a whole lot of questions for you to answer. I just threw them out to you like it was nothing.
Tony Todd got infected.
Look at him.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.